to law and wrote a memo to put it before the public and say, we Nigerians have decided this is the constitution we want. Nobody ever contributed to it. And we have been saying that since then. But Nigeria is a place where such an evil happens. There's no way of correcting it. There is none. The people who control the affairs of Nigeria love corruption and crookedness. And so when a piece of crookedness of that magnitude has been foisted on the nation, nobody can correct it. You can shout until the sun comes falling down. You are not going to get this success. Okay, Prof, thanks so much. Now, is that he connected a few people whom he liked. Whether they were Yoruba or Igbo, nobody exactly knows. And they wrote the Constitution the way he asked them to write it. And he paid them for it. And then he went forward to go and decree it into law without passing it to the Nigerian people. And he said that it was written by us, we Nigerians. It's an outright fraud. But if we cannot, since we have not been able to correct the fraud, there is nothing to say other than that, okay, this is the way you want to live. We Yoruba don't have to live like this with you. And so we have taken our decision, we're living. That's all. Okay, you mentioned from ancient times, from the last century AD, when the rest of Black Africa in a purely rural bush existence, we Yoruba created the first urbanized society on the African continent. And we were the only urbanized people for many, many centuries. So many parts of Africa were still did not have towns or cities even until the British and the French came. That's one thing. So we are people who have a clear idea that we want to live dignified lives. So the second thing is this, that when in 1950s, created one and gave each region semi-independence and set up a government to manage the semi-independence in their region. We Yoruba in the region far ahead of all the regions and created one most democratic society, the most advancing society, built more roads, more water supply for cities, and created one, the first free primary education on the African continent, the first of a lot of things. Yes, and our region was so prosperous that we were lending money to the federal government. Yeah, we were lending money to the federal government, and sometimes we gave them outright grants. Our civil service was the best administrative unit on the African continent. Okay, Rob, we loaned personnel to the federal government, or we gave them personnel so as to help their civil service to develop. So we are not part of Nigeria really. Okay, thank you so much, Rob. Rob, let me mention who we are. Okay, thank you, Prof. Let me mention just three.
Okay, Ogbuape, very good morning. Láti lọ ṣe tíì mi ni, má bínú. I think there's still one more.
Okay. And Ahmed, what are Tinubu?
Wait a minute, don't stop by.
Ahmed, what are Tinubu? These people just to name the people. Which part of Nigeria are they from? They are Yoruba, right? Yes. And so what? Okay, no. The society, not people want good for the people. We are talking to the whole world. That's a sign that the Yorubas don't want their country. That's not so. That's a purpose kind of reasoning. Obasanjo doesn't want the Yoruba nation. He has his own reasons, and I'm not going to be telling you here. He has his own reasons, and they are personal. Now, Prof. Last year also, Professor Wale Soyinka, I know him very well, he even traveled to Cotonou to meet with you and Sunday Igboho. Is that correct? Yeah. Thank you so much, Prof. Now, so my amazement to you also, you know what I'm talking about? When this classified, when they say that, okay, if you come and what's called signed or do something, when did you refuse? Did you refuse to follow your nation? Why? You know what I'm talking about? No, I don't remember that. Okay, I don't want to get into that. That is, okay. Once upon a time, Soyinka traveled and met with you and the son. Yes, yes. Right. Okay. Now, when the nations, or let me know, I don't want to get, you know what I'm talking about. When they say, when the nations of the world mention his name, and said that, okay, you should now sign something, or you should sign something through you. What did you refuse? This, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. In the behavior of particular person. Let me tell you, among the people who are university professors like myself and are Yoruba, there is great amazement that one of them is doing what I'm doing now. It's about that. When a nation is dead, one of the things out there is that they don't love the Yoruba nation, but they can't imagine themselves dragging themselves down to the floor in order to come and save the Yoruba nation. They won't do it. So there are people like that. It is not my duty to explain their behavior, but their thinking. Because when a nation is dead, that's why that in the place of people right on Yoruba people, say that he loved them, he would travel to where it too was alas. When it comes to the that thing I'm talking about, he refused. No, I'm talking about. His refusal is a personal choice, and it has nothing to do with the overwhelming majority of Yoruba. I would say 90% of Yoruba people are tired of Nigeria today. Okay. Whatever anybody who's an elite will say to himself and his wife in their home, the truth is that the people we see in the streets, in the marketplaces, they are all tired of Nigeria. Okay. Thank you, Baba.
Mokibo Bola and Konsi, a very good morning. I think I got one more.
Can you go after the elite politicians? In the name of Yoruba nation. Baba, what do you know about this, sir? Yeah, thank you very much. I thank you for asking this question, because it gives me an opportunity to speak to the Yoruba nation about this whole situation. Yes, sir. There is a story going around, but we are, as servants of the people, we must not discountenance any story. The story is that some people have gone to some place have time to wait because we don't know whether it is true or not true at this point. So what I have done this afternoon is that I've sent out an audio message to all Yoruba people that some people are reported to be planning this. Two things, a number of things I want to say about that. First, we don't know whether it is true or not true. Secondly, we who are really fighting for the Yoruba nation are not part of it. Just as we were not part of the season of radio stations 3 or 4 weeks ago that led a number of young people into serious crime. We were not part of it. We are not part of this. In 2019 to 2020, when we were starting this struggle, I sat down and wrote a 35-page manual for conducting this struggle. It says very categorically over and over again that we are going to achieve our purposes by peaceful and law-abiding means. That we will not go into violence, that we will not encourage our people to go into violence. That even when we rally in the streets, it shall be peaceful. And we have kept to our word. Part of what I said in that document is that we are looking for a situation where we Yoruba will get out of Nigeria and we will not be enemy to any of the people we leave behind. So that our neighbors for the rest of time will be peaceful, friendly neighbors and never hostile neighbors. Those are the things that, and so anybody who is gathering something somewhere abroad and so on says is going to fight the government of Nigeria, is going to, whoever it is, he or she is doing for himself or herself alone. But there is something I want to add now. From the beginning, all this attempts to divide and destroy the self-determination movement, there were suspicions among us that the people who are trying to do it were set to go and do it, were paid to go and do it, to destroy the self-determination struggle. Now, I think we have the proof. If it is true that they have gathered some people like a little army and they are bringing them to Yoruba land in order to fight the Tinubu government and so on and so forth, then we now know that because the persons that we know cannot do that on their own. The woman we know doesn't have the capability to do that. She's a semi-illiterate after all. She doesn't know the world. All the noise she's making is a lie. She doesn't know enough to go and create a mercenary army. But if the people who sent her to come and destroy our struggle are unhappy that she has failed, because she has failed now, they may want to come and do it themselves. They may want to come and try and do it themselves. They may come gather a mercenary force to come and do it. But that does not exculpate her. It doesn't mean she's not part of the plan. She's part of the plan. She agreed in the first place to come and disrupt the Yoruba self-determination struggle. She has been doing everything imaginable to disrupt and destroy it. Now, if it is true that some people are bringing an army, a mercenary army to come and attack Yoruba land and attack the federal government of Nigeria on Yoruba soil, then we know at last that there is some powerful people behind this young woman, that they are the people who have been financing her. And that since she has now failed, they want to come forward and do it themselves. That's the situation. So I'm warning all Yoruba people at home and abroad. This is the time for us to close ranks. All these organization it doesn't crisis of disunity that we have got out of Nigeria and begin to unite now very, very seriously in order to defend our land and take our freedom from Nigeria. We can do it, but we will do it in a law-abiding and peaceful manner. And we are not going to leave any hostile neighbors behind. All the people we have lived with in Nigeria for 100 years are going to end up being friendly, peaceful, friendly neighbors of the Yoruba nation that is coming. That is it. So I do say to the person or persons who are planning to bring a mercenary army to Yoruba land, bring it on. We are going to meet you. We won't even wait for the federal government to send any army to come and throw you out. We ourselves will throw you out. It's as simple as that. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That is brief.
And a very good morning and a welcome to our education and lecture room. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire káàkiri ibi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń wò wá. I say good morning and welcome to the morning lecture. This is where we tell you exactly reasons why the Yoruba people in their masses, also in their millions across the continent, remain on the same demand, inalienable right to self-determination. As many of people are asking, that it seems that the Yoruba people that have been campaigning since 2019 have now all gone back, they've now run away, they are hiding because Bola Tinubu is the president. Let me put this clearly. Just as our father, the oracle, the leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, Professor Adebanji Akintoye, have stated categorically, even with a letter that was dispatched on the 30th of May to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot stop the Yoruba nation movement. Let me repeat myself again. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the Federal Republic of Nigeria do not even have the right or to say that the Yoruba people that are demanding their exit out of what is called the Federal Republic of Nigeria that was put together by the British government do not have the right to stop that movement. So this message that keeps coming almost every now and then by those that they are sending directly or indirectly, because we can tell from their messages, we can tell from the way they are almost kind of putting our father and our leader of the movement in terms of whether Professor Adebanji Akintoye has now become somebody that is now in the court of law and somebody can just come anyhow and then start interrogating him. I do not have any problem with individuals' view, but one thing is we have a response to that view of that person through our own Ijaya. Let's listen.
Have Yoruba nation, have Yoruba nation, have Yoruba nation. Akibo,
I'm coming back.
I enjoy you. Our friend one, the doctor, so I sorry to learn either Dr. Abi or Dr. Akiyemi Loje. That man. Come on, Baba Sorobe, Yamato Baba Sorieto. Come on, Baba Sorobe, Yamoni Laye, Yala Yae. Nile Aye ni. Egbabe. Àwọn tó ní wá pé pọ̀ gan. Ó lè gbọ́ onítìrí lọ́wọ́ yẹn náà wá. Àbí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ló fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Wọ́n yóò sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́síwájú ló sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́sẹ̀yìn. Má wá sí pàdé. Má wá sí meeting Yorùbá nation. Dr. Abi àbí Dr. Akiyemi. I don't want to know the fact your name is. Senator, don't ever talk like that again. Don't ever talk the way you talk tonight again. To Baba Akintoye, enough in your life again. Do you understand? Do you understand? Abọ́dẹ́rì burúkú ni ẹni. Abọ́dẹ́rì burúkú ẹni. Àwọn wo ló ń gàrí? Bọ́dí tí nínú ọjọ́ ṣẹ́gbà tó dé ní street mouth. Tó dàgírèdì wa. Abọ́dẹ́rì burúkú lélẹ́yìí. Kò ní dààmú yàrá ìyá ẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ mọ whoever you be. Mi fẹ́ mọ owó tó ní. Mi fẹ́ mọ kò tó wà kò ní dààmú yàrá ìyá ẹ̀. Fún kò tó ṣe lálẹ́ yìí. Ẹni kò gbọ́dọ̀ correct ẹ̀. Dr. Abi àbí Dr. Kiyemi, a senator in America. Don't ever try it again. Don't fucking try it again. Abọ́dẹ́rì burúkú ni ẹ̀. Ẹni gbàdọ̀ sàs láyé mọ̀. We don't want you. We don't want you. You are a scammer. You are a dubious person. Yes. Wọ́n bẹ jẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n àbọ̀dọ̀ ní burúkú ni dókítà yìí ni dókítà wẹ̀rẹ̀wẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn. Ẹbí àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn làwọn eléyìí o. Màá wọ́n ṣe bàbá Akíntọ́yọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀. You are disrespecting our leader. Kò ní dá fún ẹsẹ̀. Dr. Abi àbí Dr. Kiyemi ló jẹ́. Senator, don't try it again. Don't fucking try it again. I'm a tẹ́sí lójú yamayama. Àbọ̀dé eléyìí ò pa àwọn wọlé ẹgbẹ́. Àbọ̀yá wèrè. Ìwé ìwé kà. Ìwé ìwé kà. Who the fuck are you? To talk to us in that manner, to disrespect our leader. To disrespect Yoruba nation. Who the fuck are you? Dr. Abi àbí Dr. Kiyemi tó jẹ́. Àbọ̀yá wèrè. Wọ́n fi pátá wèrè gbá yá ẹ lórí ni. Mílíọ̀nù ìdìbò tó nùkú lọ́rùn. Of Yoruba nation. Of Yoruba nation.
Thank you so much all the way in Australia. We have one of our listeners all the way there. Thank you so much. And let's go straight into the morning program because as you know, it's just under 1 hour, 30 minutes. Thank you so much. Moki Bogoma Yoruba. And let's start with this, our beautiful anthem. Then I will do my presentation as usual. And then we will move forward with the program of the day. My name is Alani Koiki. And this is One Media that is a campaigner for the right to self-determination of the Yoruba people. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tí ẹ wà lórí ètò. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá wa. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Thank you so much. My children and the immediate family that still remain, that as far as it takes, they will continue to support what I am doing. Let me say this clearly. Let me put this on record. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n farabalẹ̀ kí n sọ fún yín. Lórí ìrìn àjò yìí, I have stopped talking to some of my family. I am talking about ibi tí bàbá tó jọ bí gbogbo wa orí kìíní yẹn. I have stopped talking to them. Lórí ìrìn àjò yìí. I am not joking on this movement. How are you? Have a nice day. I, Olayomi Koiki, I am not joking. One of my stepbrother lives here in UK. We stopped talking like 2 years ago. ó ti lọ bí ọdún mẹ́ta nísìnyí tí mo bá sọ̀rọ̀. So ẹ má rò pé bóyá I care about anyone that wants to attack Baba Akintoye. We don't care. We can die for Baba Akintoye just as some of you can die for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The same person right here on Exile that say, I don't believe in one Nigeria. So, ẹ má gbé Baba Akintoye kẹ́ má fi ta yín o. Ẹ má fi Baba Akintoye, ẹ má fi ta yín. Ẹ má fi Baba Akintoye débi pé ẹ fẹ́ máa interrogate wọn bígbà tó yẹ pé ó wà nínú court. He is 88 years old. Tẹ́yìn ò bá lè sọ̀kalẹ̀ láti fọwọ́ kún wọn, ẹ jókòó síbi tẹ́ bá wà. Yoruba country will be for everybody. There's no doubt. Kò ń ṣe pé tá a bá gba Yoruba country tán, a máa yọ àwọn kan kúrò, a máa sọ pé no, ìwọ ń ṣe ọmọ Yoruba. No. Even like I said, àwọn tó ń support Tinubu, we have no problem with you. We have said that continuously. But the fact remains that Tinubu or no Tinubu, Yoruba nation is the final solution to the life of the indigenous people. So let me put this clearly once again. I, Olayomi Koiki, I stopped talking to one of my stepbrother in the last 3 years. I sọ̀rọ̀ lórí phone. Ó wò mí kò wò mí, I don't care. Because nígbà tó dé sí UK, I don't want to go into that details. I know how he got to UK and how eventually, after years, he managed to get his British passport. But the question is, ṣé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ bàbá tó bí Koiki ni wọ́n ní British passport? Ṣé gbogbo àwọn tí bàbá wa bí ló wà ní UK, ló wà l'America? So when we are discussing about this movement, it has nothing to do with friendship. It has nothing to do with family. It has something to do with the truth that the Yoruba people must be free. That is what I'm standing on. So pé ẹ rò pé bóyá tí mo gbé dání nǹkan kékeré ni, I don't give a toss. I remove myself from the group that I was inside. That is got to do with those that I spent years with at Abeokuta Grammar School. When I realized that their own ways is not going to go with me, I actually removed myself. Some of them we still have good relationship, and some of them I decided to leave them on their own. That does not mean that what I am fighting for will not benefit them in the long run. But those in Nigeria will suffer before it benefit them. Because Nigeria will never, never be a great place as some of you are thinking. So I want to nílé, wọ́n máa jẹ gba díẹ̀ ká tó gba Yoruba nation. Economy-wise, you will suffer. Insecurity, they will kidnap you, you will pay for ransom. So what we are dealing with here, in fact, we are affected by Yoruba nation, is not violent. We might talk as if it's violent, but one thing I have said continuously is, at some stage, even if everything we have input doesn't work, then we go the other way around. And the other way around, everybody understand that. I don't have to start breaking it down and say, it's going to be like this, it's going to be like this. When somebody was killed in Paris, nobody told anybody to come out. Everybody came out at the appropriate time, and they shut down France for at least 4 days. And when they shut down France, they are not even up to the population of 1,000 people. But you saw what happened. The French government had to put more reinforcement of 45,000 police. Even at some point, they had to also bring in some of their military into the street to stop the anarchy. That is just one country in Europe. And I'm sure, you understand what I'm saying. But before we get to that stage, Moki, our Grace, JP, Moki Bogbayin Grandma, Moki Bogbayin Alalubarika. Some of you are in America, you're watching, it's very early in the hours. I pray that may Almighty Allah, may Almighty Eledumare, in Jesus' name, our quest. And what is that quest? We want a peaceful exit. We don't need to kill each other. We don't need to fire gun before we go. As you can see, the Southeast is burning. Don't pin it to one person. I listened to Simon Ekpa yesterday after our own conversation. And what I picked up from him saying, the government of Nigeria knows the value of Nnamdi Kanu, and they are now trying to portray the IPOB as the one bringing out the gun. Look, anybody can go out and say, Olayomi Koiki and Igboho send us to go and kill somebody. Does that mean that I have sent anybody to go and kill anybody in the last 3 years? Nobody can ever say they have a recording of me or Igboho or Baba Akintoye pé ká lọ pààyàn or ká lọ bà bìkan jẹ́. Lè mú jáde. How you doing? You all right? Good to see you. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹn nísìn. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó lè mú evidence yẹn jáde. But in 3 years, even as much as I have and I still remain, that if we do not get the negotiation, if we have tried all the consultation, all the rallies, all the protests, everything, then it will be goes. We will go on the M1. And that M1 will be the last result. The IRA kept the British government to their toes until there was a negotiation of what they call the Good Friday Agreement. So these messages, Tinubu ti debe, àwa ọmọ Yoruba nation, Yoruba. No. I have told you, expiry date for Bola Tinubu as a government is the first term is 2027. By 2027, this man that told us in London during his exile, when he was also running for his life, that he do not believe in Nigeria. But today, he is now the president of Nigeria, but Konshe president Yoruba. So this iota of Yoruba nation, let me say this, I see your messages all the time. Koiki, Tinubu. When Buhari was there, we were talking to Buhari. Buhari is no longer there. The person Tamama Basoro is Tinubu. And we will continue. Thank you so much, Leslie. It says that we, the Australian Aborigines of Australia's sovereignty, support the Yoruba Republic new state government. Thank you. Leslie is watching us all the way from Australia. And it is very, very late in the evening where she's watching us. And she's not the first time. She's been with us in the last 3 years. The right of indigenous people must be respected around the world. The Scottish are coming back out again on the 29th of this month for what they call another protest. But let me say this. Because àwọn èèyàn wa assume now that we have this Yoruba man there, we should all just go and sempe. We should relax a little bit. We should give him a breathing space. No, we don't need to give any breathing space. Tinubu is not disturbing us. Neither are we disturbing Tinubu. Tinubu is the government of Nigeria, and his job is to make Nigeria to work. The job of Bola Tinubu is to make Nigeria to work. It is not for him to either agree with us or not. But one thing is, he said it clearly. I don't believe in one Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself said so. So when people are now saying that, let us be patient. Let us see what Tinubu is going to do first. Let us accept what he will be putting in place. No, whatever Tinubu is putting in place is for the benefit of the trying to fix a Titanic that has sunk. Because Nigeria is a Titanic. It is sink. And one thing we have been saying is that, yes, we want a nation. But what do we mean by the nation? Sorry, don't want me. Don't let me see you come here again and run water. Like I was saying, how do we first define a country? Do we have the right prerequisite or the right requirement? When you want to apply for a visa to go to Australia, when you know Leslie, Leslie, can you give me invitation letter? That is the first step. If she agrees, she can give you. If she doesn't agree, then you have to go and look at the requirement to apply for a visa to Australia, to United Kingdom, to America. Everything in life has a requirement. The same requirement is also what the United Nations have told us, and we are also having the same requirement. And the requirement here, and I want us to listen to this. This was contained in the letter that we sent to Buhari, because Buhari is a Fulani man. So, intercosi Buhari, mo ṣe shout out sí YSDM, mo kí bàbá wa dáadáa, the deputy chairman of the YSDM, Chief Banji Ayiloge, mo kí gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́, and let me say this clearly, ṣe rí gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó kù tí wọ́n náwọn ọ̀fẹ́ wà lábẹ́ YSDM nítorí pé ẹ fẹ́ máa ṣe tiyín, kò sẹ́ni kankan tó fẹ́ ṣe Yorùbá nation tẹ́lẹ̀ tí kò bá ṣe pé bàbá Akíntóyè gbé jáde. None of you gave us the impression that you are going to create a group or you are going to create an organization. It was after Baba Akintoye came out that we started seeing clusters of different organizations. So tí bàbá Akíntóyè ò bá jáde, ṣé ẹ ní idea yẹn pé ó jẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá lọ? So nígbà tí bàbá Akíntóyè jáde, tí ẹ rí Ìgbòho, nígbà yẹn ni gbogbo yín wá lọ set up organization, and set up this and set up that. None of you were setting up anything, because I live in UK and I monitor things around the world. Gbogbo tí à ń béèrè fún nígbà yẹn from 2018 was that everybody was looking at the projection that yes, Tinubu will be contesting, but nobody knew that Baba Akintoye, maybe some few people, and I give shout out to my uncle, a comrade, George Akinola Atishola Salako, a very beautiful sister, and the rest of those of you that I don't know their names, because àwọn gangan ni wọ́n jọ jókòó bí a níbi kan lọ jókòó pẹ̀lú Baba Akintoye ni wọ́n wá ń prepare kíní yẹn díẹ̀díẹ̀, because there is a requirement. The requirement yẹn ni Baba Akintoye gbé lọ sí UNPO just to safeguard gbogbo wa. So nígbà tí Baba Akintoye wá ṣe yẹn tán, àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí, I don't want to mention any organization, àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rí this organization, this WhatsApp group, this ṣe set up gbogbo group yẹn as before kó tó di pé Baba Akintoye gbé jáde. Kí ló dé tí gbogbo yín ò ṣe jáde láti set up that particular thing tí Baba Akintoye ṣe? What we were following before was the Afenifere. We knew that the Afenifere stand was a restructure, and as we were following them, we were monitoring what is happening in Nigeria. We knew that election was going to be coming to an end with the former president Muhammadu Buhari, but nobody knew that there was something cooking underneath that would then engineer we are all here today. Even myself, I was not aware, because I was in Nigeria in 2017, but Comrade George Akinola was in Adamasingba with so many other Yoruba people. One hour fair, no more restructured. This country is done and dusted. But nobody pushed that narrative out because nobody knew him around the world. Nobody knew him, even though he says he has been running Yoruba Nation for 25 years, over 2 decades, but nobody knew him. But somebody came out, and that man told everybody with a false message that Yoruba people have now been registered under the UNPO. And that was the reading of the message. Even as at the time Baba Akintoye's message here, nobody believed him. Nobody wanted to accept him. Until also, the only hero of our time, Anobi Tiwa, I never met Anobi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mo rí Muhammad rí, èmi ò Jésù rí. So, a kò gbọ́ pé Jésù dé, ó ṣe ayé tiẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ lọ. And we accept him based on whatever anybody believed. We did not disagree with it. But one thing is, another Elédùmarè kan tún wá jáde, and that Elédùmarè connected with my own spirit right in front of the same Nigerian embassy. I have been running the Yoruba Nation conversation in my house. Igboho never called me in the house. Kólódé tó ṣe jẹ́ pé ìta ni Igboho ti wá pè mí. It's because something was moving around, and I told you the energy is changing. Whether the West like it or not, Nigeria will break. Ìgbà tó fẹ́ break ní gbogbo wa ò tí mọ̀. Nigeria will break. They can talk and talk and talk. Joe Biden will complete his term. Whether he comes back and get to become the next president again for another 4 years, I don't know. Whether he lose the election, I don't know. But America cannot stop the energy of the Yoruba people at the appropriate time when it's going to break. Great Britain, as much as I love it so much, I have lived here for the past 25 years. I appreciate the reason for keeping me here, because when I came here, I never knew that in another few more years, I will be also asking them questions. They accepted us, we live here, we abide by the rules and regulations. In 25 years, nobody can bring anything to point on me that I have committed a crime in this country. 25 years. I have lived here for 25 good years. Le mujade that this Koiki tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé ní only criminal record. I do what they call CRB check. I work with children. I have done dinner lady. I have worked in the school. I have worked in places that request. My job requests sometimes security clearance. And I have told you, if I do not have that same security clearance, I will not be able to even get into number 10 down the street. So for 25 good years, I also stay in my own little lane. I did what I was told to do and what I was not told to do. But I have not lived here now because of now saying that after Yoruba Nation, I will not call the empire question. Because gbogbo tí à ń sọ lẹ́ni, ta fi ń sọ pé a fẹ́ gba Yoruba Nation, Everything boils back to this country. I even wish I knew when I was doing my immigration. I would have used that as part of the reason why I am not going back to Nigeria. Because I would have told them that I want to break in Nigeria. Sibitowa. And the reason why, I don't know why people, continue to use the Yoruba nation as part of your argument with the British immigration officers. Because when they ask you why you are not going back, you say to them clearly that it is because this country refused to allow you in 1914 to be who you are. Because if they have not merged us together in this entity enclave called Nigeria, we might not be here, or we might be here for a reason, maybe for 1 or 2 weeks, and we go back just like so many people were doing in the 60s and in the 70s until everything got destroyed. So I want to answer, the Yoruba nation is now quiet because Bola Tinubu, no. You are mixing it up. Igboho came into the rhyme. He was the only one in Yoruba land Tony Aya láti lọ fi kọlu àwọn Fulani. So many other people were running away. Nobody wanted to be involved because they were scared. They were scared. Yes, amọ̀pá náà àwọn akíkanjú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, nobody's rubbishing them. But Igboho proved himself, and that was why I traveled to Nigeria to stay with him, because I promised him that he will not be the only one in the war front. Maybe you don't know why I went to Nigeria. I went to Nigeria so that kò ní jẹ́ pé Igboho nìkan ló máa wà ní war front. War front ní Igboho wà nígbà tẹ́mi lọ sílé, because I knew that what he was doing, he also need another engine to stay with him. Even though what a crush engine méjèèjì. So many people were doing so many allegations, so many write-up, even as far back as going to one of my businesses that I established in UK almost 6 years before Yoruba Nation. Wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ lèmi àti Igboho àti Baba Akintoye láti ṣèpàdé. A writer put out that information and put it on the social media that èmi àti Igboho nínú business tèmi ti ṣí ní UK 6 or 7 years before Yoruba Nation. Only if you address yẹn, you can tell that the whole idea was to pull me down. So that about to pull me down, màá pull Igboho down, màá pull Baba Akintoye down. Let me say this clearly. Tẹ́ bá gbé anybody wá tó wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ Igboho àbí Baba Akintoye àbí Chief Ayiloge, á fún yín tán délẹ̀. They are not under any interrogation of anybody. They are on their own, telling the Yoruba people that have slept for so many years that we are ready to go. And we will go, and there's nobody that can stop that going. It might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next year. But one thing is, the movement continues, and there is nobody, no single person that can stop it. Try and bring so many different people in. You will try to destroy it. You will try. But as you continue to try, we will be here to defend them. We will be here to protect them. And this was what actually led the beginning of how the Yoruba Nation movement came to limelight.
Leader of the Yoruba World Congress, Professor Banji Akintoye, says the membership represents a very important step in the collective quest of well-meaning Yoruba people to achieve the goal of dignity and self-determination.
It is my great pleasure and pride to inform you that the Yoruba Nation has been admitted to the membership of UNPO. UNPO means Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization, with its headquarters in The Hague. The UNPO expressed their gladness to welcome the Yoruba Nation as a new member of UNPO, and they are looking forward to working with us. It is important because it is a great stride, and it represents a very important step in our collective quest to achieve the goal of dignity in the country in which we live, and also to achieve the goal of self-determination for our nation. Our Yoruba Nation now has a voice on the international stage via the machinery of the UNPO, which maintains a permanent presence before the United Nations and before other international agencies like the European Union, the the African Union, the United States government, and the governments of various other countries across the world.
Thank you so much. And that was the beginning of the journey to Yoruba nation. But let me now factor that in as well. For those that are not aware, in number 6 of July 2023, and the time is just coming up to 10 a.m. local time, and transmission is coming from London, the same London or the same England that Babawolowo sat with them. So many conversations went back to back, back and forth, back to back, until we ended up having a regional government that was destroyed again by as many of those backed by the West. But let me put this, was part of our, I thought it was delicate. Mr. President, this was the letter Kassendi Buhari. Mr. President, we know you are aware of the following international instrument, and this is still also adding to what we are saying to Bola Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. President, we know you are aware of the following international instrument that affirm the right of our Yoruba nation and the right of every people in the world to self-determination. Number A, the United Nations Charter of 1945, which stated that the purposes of the United Nations include to develop friendly relations among nations based on the respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of the people. Number B, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, and the International Covenant on Economic and Social Cultural Rights, ICESCR. How are you? Take care. And the International Covenant of Economic and Social Cultural Rights, ICESCR. No. Of 1996, in Article 1, common to both covenants, which stated that all people, I want us to listen to this side, all people, including the Yoruba people, the Aboriginal people, the Igbo people, the Hausa people, the Scottish people, anyone that wants to be on their own as a country, have the right to self-determination. Under that right, they can freely determine their own political status and pursue their economic and social and cultural development. Number C, the United Nations Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People 2007, which stated as follows, Article 3, indigenous people have the right to self-determination. I repeat that again. Indigenous peoples have the right to self-determination. By that right, they are freely determine their political status and pursue their economic and social and cultural development. So Bola Tinubu cannot stop our rights. He does not need to agree with us. He does not need to believe in us. But one thing we know is that evidence have indicated that even him today told us in London during his exile that he does not believe in one Nigeria. But today, he's believing in one Nigeria because the music is playing under his house. And it will expire because that music expire in 2027 to start with, and that same music expire even if it comes back again after 2027, it will finally expire in 2031. Bola Tinubu will be 87 years old. I will be younger than him, and the fight will continue if he refuses to allow the dissolution of Nigeria, because he has every right now to look into all these declarations, all this charter that Nigeria is also part of signatory. Because Nigeria is a signatory to all these that I'm telling you. So when people are saying that, Yoruba people, no, shut up your mouth. The movement does not mean to be on the street yet. It is still a conversation. It is still a dialogue that is going on online. That does not mean that we cannot go on the street again. But for now, we are having that conversation online. And there's nothing wrong in that, because some of you are so gullible. You do not understand that the new technology is what we are using to propagate, to make sure that our message continue. And there's no way you can go to all the platforms that are speaking about the Yoruba nation self-determination right. kò síbi tẹ́ máa lọ níjọ́ kan tó ní sọ pé Yorùbá nation la fẹ́, but because some of you are not even sure of yourself, you have never been sure of your family, you have never been sure of yourself, and that is why Simon Ekpa, let me reference back to that yesterday, some of you, we need to help you because any thinking kokomo. Simon Ekpa was saying that yesterday in his broadcast that I listened to, after he concluded yesterday. He added that some of those that are saying that, hey, Simon Ekpa, why are you locking Biafra land? No, you must lock Biafra land because that is the only message that will push the message of Nnamdi Kanu out. So when people are now saying that, hey, but why are you doing that? It is inconvenient for us. We are not fighting like 1967. We are now using the new way to make message pass to the federal government. And that is what the Biafra are doing. And when you see the people that are bringing gun out, let me say this, that is Andy Uba. Andy Uba can put anybody in uniform and give them gun. This criminal politician, I'm also had so many weapons. Only Bontokpo now, Nibo Yewa, Kilo Fishe Koto Dipe, Dakpa Abiodun Day is on record. That Dakpa Abiodun knew that Amosu had gone, but nobody knew where he kept it. But when Amosu, because of Olori Buruku Are, Tomade Fila Gogoro, he actually returned the gun back to Commissioner for Police in Ogun State. Kilo Fi Bon Yeshe, and Oro Fi Pa, Kilo Fi damage. They could have said that it was the Yoruba people that were killing each other. But at the end of the day, evidence pointed out that Amosun, the former governor of Lagos, Ogun State, àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wà ní London níbí báyìí pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ Àbíkẹ́ Dábírí níbí báyìí ní Ògbọ́n jọ ń gbé, but ó ra ìbọn AK-47 in large quantity, and when he was going, because he had a friction with Dakpa Abiodun, he did not want to hand over the gun as part of the state asset, because it's the state asset. But what he did was he handed over to the commissioner for police. So when you are now saying that you are seeing video, hey, these are Biafra, they are shooting everybody, no, they are not Biafra. These are the Andy Uba working for the Fulani jihadists to make sure that they can destroy Simon Ekpa for what he's doing. I don't care whatever your views are on that. Keep that to your bottom, bomb bastard. Now let's come back again. The United Nations Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People, 2007, stated clearly, Article 3, indigenous people have the right to self-determination. What we are doing today is not terrorism. What I am actually asking for from the British government, from the United Nations, from America, from European Union, and they are not stupid. I told you yesterday, more Christians got killed at the last week of Buhari leaving office. 700 Christians were killed by the Fulani terrorists as a gift to President Muhammadu Buhari that left on May 29 as Bola Tinubu is taking over. As we speak right now, the governor in the north, especially Zamfara, the criminal bandit man, is now telling Tinubu to take tamper on justice and give the bandits, so-called, the opportunity to be reintegrated into Nigeria. Are these indigenous people as well? Or are they from Mali? Are they from Niger? Or are they from Chad? Because we know that Buhari opened the border and 1 million of them came into Nigeria without any documentation. So when they are now saying that we should accept them and allow them to integrate, are they Nigerians? And if they are Nigerians, which indigenous group are they from? Because we know that we have 250 ethnic groups that the British put together and expect us to live side by side. These are the reasons why we are asking for a right to self-determination. Idiot. United Nations. Again, Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People is there, 2007. The first Article 3 stated, and I say, indigenous people have the right to self-determination. By that right, they are freely determine their political status and pursue their own economic and social cultural development. Article 4, indigenous people in exercising their right to self-determination have the right to autonomy or self-government in matter relating to their internal and local affairs, as well as ways of means of financing their autonomous function. Let me shall I we don't need Nigeria to survive. We have the potential of the brains. Baba Akintoye explained that during the Yoruba era, Nigbata and Shaye Tiwa are needing Nigeria. What we were doing is we knew that we can bring our people together using their skills, using their intellectual to develop and make sure that things were running in accordance. Nobody knows who is who in Nigeria today. There is no accurate data of anybody in Nigeria. Everybody is just moving around. Even those that are saying that we are not going to pay tax, it's because Nigeria doesn't have a system that captures individual. There is nowhere you can go around the world. Go to Dubai and say you want to buy a SIM card and make sure that they don't link that SIM card into your anus, because they want to know that you are still in the country when you are meant to be even out. Kò sẹ́ni tó wà ní Dubai tó bá pẹ́ níbẹ̀ kó tó jáde, you will pay fine. Kò ṣe tó máa sọ fún mi. One of my brother lives there, not immediate brother, but everybody in Yoruba land we call them brother. And I'm not talking about before Yoruba nation. Ó jáde padà, kò sí ní Yoruba money say. Nígbà yẹn tó máa ń ṣe ni pé á kúrò nínú Dubai, á kọ́kọ́ lọ sí another outskirt kan, á tún padà wọlé. Wọ́n bí ẹ dákó wà ní United Arab Emirates and sọ pé ò ní jáde when you have the right to still remain in there. So why then do we say that we don't want to have a system that can protect us, to lè defend wa, to lè keep life wa go function? Now let's go further. Article 20 of the African Chapter of Human Peoples and Rights, which stated as follows: all people have the right to existence. They shall have the unquestionable and inalienable right to self-determination. They shall freely determine again their political status, pursue their own economic and social development according to their chosen policy. It is of great importance that Nigeria, which Bola Tinubu is also now the president, is a signatory. If you don't know what is called signatory, go and ask your own family. Nigeria wà lára àwọn tó jẹ́ signatory sí gbogbo tankai. So whether Tinubu is there or not, it does not disturb us. Yet we have not come out on the street to also do as we were doing before. Some are saying that, ṣé rally nìkan lẹ máa ṣe ni, ṣé protest nìkan lẹ máa ṣe ni, because those ones are stupid. They are idiots. They don't know how things work under international law. They think that you are just going to go there and start shooting each other. No. Even if you shoot each other, round table. And that has always been the way. So I'm going to move swiftly because I need to end the program in the next 10-15 minutes. Let's go further. It is of great importance that Nigeria is a signatory to these international instruments. And this right of self-determination of peoples has been domesticated and incorporated and an act of Nigerian National Assembly. In the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, moreover, Nigerian courts have pronounced upon the same right to self-determination of people in Nigeria as an inalienable right to which any people in Nigeria, such as the Yoruba people, are entitled to. When Tinubu was outside Nigeria, they were also running a pirate radio station. So even if we decide to do the same thing, Tinubu do not have any right to be looking for it, because he did the same thing while he was outside Nigeria, when he stated clearly that Owo believe in Nigeria. This is the evidence. The evidence that Tinubu does not believe in Nigeria is here. He stated it. He granted that interview right here in London and stated that he does not believe in Nigeria. So why then are you saying that we in 2023 are now saying that the indigenous, we are even helping Tinubu? Because but he felt a little bit relaxed after he became the governor. So he abandoned project I don't believe in Nigeria to now accept project Mofe Nigeria, because Tinubu Oparishe. I wish he has continued with it by sticking with it. If Abacha did not die, I'm sure Tinubu will still remain as I don't believe in Nigeria. But Abacha died along the line, and the rest they say is history. He returned back to Nigeria. Kilo Shele, Odipe Unodi, Jagaban, because they gave him a slot. Oh, they call on the slot here. Tinubu knew how Funshaw William died. But when Mofisa go approve it, they come on Funshaw William Sheku, because Tinubu was not the real person that they were going to bring in on the primaries. I'm sure their family are regretting their life, because Bobonto Sofun Koshe Odalewon Kodense Lotin Dalemo Yoruba anyway. So this notion pé and Tinubu ti débẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ká lọ dákẹ́, shut up your mouth, idiot all over the place. Tinubu himself said it in London I wish I met him in London before I came in 1998, because he returned to Nigeria in time for the campaign of the 1999 fraudulent election that took place. But as at the time before Abacha died, he granted an interview in London and stated it clearly from his own mouth that I do not believe in Nigeria. So this motion that Tinubu is not the president, Yoruba people, in another, especially some of the Biafra, those ones are idiots. You are still inside Nigeria. You have not got a country yet. Everybody is doing their own in accordance to the way they want to do it. We appreciate the way you are doing it, but don't put your pock nose into how we are doing our own. Bomb bastard! Those Biafra that are asking us questions. Where is Igboho? Is Igboho abandon Yoruba nation? Oloshi people, Lori Buruku, bomb bastard. You have not left Nigeria. You are still in Nigeria, Biafra. You only have what they call government in exile. You have not taken over your territory, and that is why Simon Ekpa kept on saying that you would have to sacrifice. When they say sit at home, you sit at home, bomb bastard. You want to get freedom while Nnamdi Kanu is kept in the DSS custody, and you want to come out on Monday and allow Nigeria to function. That is part of the weapon that you use to fight Nigeria. Bomb bastard. Sit at home. And when you see people that are outside, it is Andy Uba that is bringing weapons to kill innocent Igbo, because Nnamdi Kanu have stated that they will not use any weapon. And Simon Ekpa has said the same thing. And Simon Ekpa said it. You cannot be fighting with chewing gum. When the Fulani are using APG, they are using RPG, they are using AK-49, they would also have to have weapon to fight back. The Yoruba don't have the weapon, but we have this mouth. We will use this mouth to destroy the system that they created. That is what we are doing, because I don't have any weapon. We don't have the money to buy weapon, but the Igbo people are able to put money together because they are not fighting for chewing gum. Chewing gum is not what Fulani terrorists are using to kill their people in the forest. So when they say sit at home, bloody idiot, sit at home so that you don't get killed on a Monday, Olori Buruku people. And stop pointing finger and say, hey, Koiki, do you still agree that what Nnamdi Kanu told you about Simon Ekpa, do you want me to be telling you everything? Oh, Loshi people. Bomb bastard. Let's come back again. Now, when we talk about the Yoruba people, some of you, hey, if you are Dipe, mama bere question. Koiki, mo kàn fẹ́ bi yín ni o, níbo lẹ bá ọ̀rọ̀ Yoruba nation náà dé? Why are you asking me níbo la bá Yoruba nation? No, ṣé Fulani lẹ́yìn nísìn? No, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń bèrè question yẹn, ṣé Fúlàní ni yín? Idiot! Ẹ̀yin máa bi wá pé níbo la bá iṣẹ́ wo lẹ́yìn náà ń ṣe láti make sure pé ẹ ràn bàbá Akíntóyè lọ́wọ́, ẹ ràn Ìgbòho lọ́wọ́, ẹ ràn bàbá Bánjí Akíntóyè bàbá Bánjí Ayélóge, ẹ ràn YSDM lọ́wọ́. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ní kankan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe, ẹ lọ dáwó sínú YSDM. Idiot! Stop calling me and be asking me, Koiki níbo la bá Yorùbá nation dé? Everybody is a Yoruba man, is a Yoruba woman. We all are. Ṣebí gbogbo yín lẹ́tí dóbò. Ẹ má bínú fọ́rọ̀ tí mo sọ yẹn. Gbogbo yín lẹ́ ń já sí náà. At least for anybody to be on Facebook, you have to be 18 years old. So at some point, everybody don't buy your suit. Ṣé nígbà tẹ́ ẹ máa ń bá báwọn èèyàn sùn? Ṣé mo máa ń bí pé bó lẹ fẹ́ fi sí? Olóṣì. Kẹ́yẹ́ máa bí mí ní ìbéèrè òṣì burúkú. Bomb bastard. Ẹ máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ wa níbo lẹ bá Yorùbá nation dé? Ẹ̀yin ọ̀ṣẹ́ mọ Yorùbá. No, ṣé ègùn ni yín? Ègùn ni yín? Ṣé mi nìkan ní Yorùbá? Idiot all over the place. Let's continue. Now, when we say we want Yoruba nation, I'm going to give us 4 things that is permanent and also requirement. Monsole and Komoni, if you want to come to UK, if you don't have enough money, sit in Nigeria. That is what UK say to you. Sit in Nigeria. Kí ló fẹ́ wá ní UK. Tó bá fẹ́ wá wo weather, lọ sí Jos. Ó máa to learn kan. Tó bá wá ní owó to the tune of 9 million naira. I did a breakdown. For those of you as a student, that is just for your accommodation for 1 year. If you have that money, then you can go and apply for a visa, but you also pay about £21,000. And the Yoruba people don't have that money. It is only the Olori Buruku politicians and their children that have stolen your life, just as they've done in every state. Every politician and those that are milking Nigeria, 7,000 people, according to debtors, whether they are individual, they are organization, but according to the Inland Revenue or the finance, yesterday told us that 7,000 debtors are owing 5.2 trillion. And you are here, you say you want to come to UK. UK is not going to give people like that visa. You see America hosting American, and they'll be drinking wine. And you see, the only person I'll keep mentioning is Dele Momodu, because he's a Yoruba man, but he refused to be part of the Yoruba nation because he's milking and chopping from them. And he will tell you that he has sacrificed. When they wanted to kill him as well, he ran away. Unfortunately, he was there in UK. They grant him amnesty. He managed to get a document. He now have a British passport. He can travel around and take a picture. And then the next people, you go to Tunde Ednut. Tunde Ednut is collecting money from all these, celebrity. And I'll be meeting them. I think this guy is coming, Whiskey. July 29, I'm up at the London Buboyin. I am going to be there as well, outside, showing you idiot that young people in UK will not support Yoruba nation because their parents are not telling them anything. Some of you will die. And grave when you want that CDC because some of them will not go back. I saw people celebrating Ojudioba. Hey, Ojudioba. Go and look at their village. Smelly. The only thing they do is they tie gaily. They wear agbada. They wear fila. Some of them, they go from abroad. Some of them, as they go from abroad, they don't go to their village. Gbogbo àwọn tẹ̀rí lójú ìjọba yẹn wọ́n lọ ságbolé wọn because agbolé wọn ò ṣe é rí. Agbolé wọn ti di nonsense. Now let's tell you quickly because I'm going to wind down now. Mr. President, we are conscious of the requirement for statehood under international law, and we are happy to inform Bola Ahmed Tinubu that you are qualified to assume sovereign statehood on this following ground. Take note and write it down. Bomb bastard. Stop asking us, níbo lẹ bá Yorùbá nation dé. Tell your church, gbogbo yín redeem tẹ́ wà ní UK, ẹ sọ fún wọn, gbogbo white garment churches, ẹ máa polongo ẹ̀ níbẹ̀, gbogbo àsàlátù ẹ máa sọ níbẹ̀, tẹ́ ẹ bá sọ, no problem. One Nigeria nìyí, no problem. Mo kí gbogbo yín tẹ́ ń ṣe bábà ní UK. Mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ń wò mí báyìí. Gbogbo yín ni mo kí ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Ibi báyìí náà la máa ṣe bábà sí àbí. Sì jẹ́ ká kúkú lọ ṣe bábà yẹn nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ká fi UK sílẹ̀. Gbogbo yín tẹ́ ń ránṣọ, àǹtí mi Àmáyà, mo kí gbogbo yín pátápátá, ẹja máa gbúgbá o. Ṣé bíbá yẹn náà la fẹ́ dákú sí àbí? No problem. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ṣe civil servant work, no problem. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wá boss, no problem. Ìwọ tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú London Underground, no problem. Ìwọ tó ń nulẹ̀, no problem. Ìwọ tó ń ṣe hospitality, no problem. So bíbá ní gbogbo ẹwà bẹ́yìn kí generation upon generation ká má lè lọ́lé mọ́, no problem. No problem. It's okay. But àwọn ò ní dákẹ́ lórí ìrìn àjò yìí. Tinubu or no Tinubu, Yoruba nation continue. Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ sọ fún wa pé òun ò believe in one Nigeria. Unfortunately, kò parí iṣẹ́ yẹn. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lẹ́ǹkan sí. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn àsàlátù. Mo kí Muslim Association of Nigeria. Mo kí gbogbo yín o. Ní kẹ́ support wa pẹ̀lú owó. Tẹ́ bá ti ń sọ àdúrà yín. Ọlọ́run, mo bẹ̀ ni Yoruba nation. Má jẹ́ kó tún pẹ́ mọ́. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ dàrú, Elédùmarè. Ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì yín náà, tẹ́ bá èmi ò ní kẹ́ fún wa lówó. Ní kẹ́ jáde ẹ máa fi sínú àdúrà bọ̀kẹ́ máa bí wá pé Kóìkì tẹ̀wá náà níbo lẹ bá Yorùbá èpè lẹ máa gbà lẹ́nu mi gbogbo yín èpè ni máa fún gbogbo yín stay away from me. I told you mo ò ṣeré pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation o 3 years step brother mi wà ní UK ní bíbáyìí sọ̀rọ̀ láti 3 years nígbà tó dé ìlú yìí ọwọ́ mi ló dé sí nígbà tó dé sí ìlú yìí láti Malaysia èmi ni mo lọ bá níbi tó dé sí mo ní kó dúró síbẹ̀ máa wá bá 3 years nísìn àsọ̀rọ̀ mo bá yẹn kankan ṣeré o mo mọ anybody rí o I don't trust anybody that's why I don't go anywhere inú ilé mi mo wà ní ti bá fẹ́ jẹ màá sọ fún ìyàwó mi I don't trust anybody ẹ má invite mi sí party kankan ẹ má pè mí sí anywhere ẹ tó bá fẹ́ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ yẹ ká jọ ṣe lórí Zoom tó bá ti lè pè mí lórí phone tó bá fẹ́ record mi problem tẹ nìyẹn. Now let's take you about 5 minutes left to the end of the program. Tábà náà fẹ́ gba nation 4 things ló wà important tí àgbáyé máa fi mọ̀ pé ṣé lóòtítọ́ ni àwọn people ilé gba nation. Àkọ́kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ permanent population. Do we have the permanent population? Yes, we do. Even Nigeria told us that according to the statistics, you don't have to agree with it. Even let's stay with that because we know that there are even smaller countries. Cayman Island was where your governor from Kwara State, Tonpeni Lawal Alabi, ó jí $4.5 million. Ó lọ tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ sí Cayman Island. That is about 3.4 billion naira. Ẹ̀yin olóṣì. Ìyẹn lẹ ṣe smelly mẹ́rìndínlógún local government. Rí kọ̀ọ̀kan fi ṣe. Ẹni ọlọ́mbà oníṣẹ̀ṣe. Fẹ́ rí yín ní bíbá yìí mọ́. Ṣe rí bíbá yìí. Bíbá yìí ló ń pè ní Ìlọrin. Ẹ̀yin olóṣì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ ṣe tán ṣetán. A sì máa wọlé síra wa lára gidi gan. Sakúnkú sì yẹn kò ní dé bíbá. Bomb bastard. Ṣé Saudi Arabia ẹ lè lọ gbé níbẹ̀? Wọ́n fún yàn níwèé ní Saudi Arabia. Kì í ṣe Arab Yorùbá ni wá olóṣì. ẹni ṣéwù àwọn ọmọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ṣéwù ló wà ní London ló wà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ń ṣe gay ló wà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ń ṣe lesbian tó bá bí àwọn ọmọ ṣéwù dá ní London kó sọ pé àwọn ọmọ gay yìí kò ní dá fún wọn ẹ̀wọ̀n ló máa kú sí bomb bastard. Now we have what they call permanent population. Fire brigade don't lie anything. Nobody must die. We must save as many people as possible. The first one is population, permanent population. In the recent official population statistics of Nigeria, we the Yoruba are listed as a distinct nation with a population of 30 million. This proves eléyìí fi hàn pé lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ a lè gba country wa. This proves that we are recognized as a people with a permanent population. We have Kwara State, we have Kogi State, we have Ondo State, Osun State, Oyo State, Lagos State. Gbogbo àwọn states tó kù ẹ̀ sì fi àwọn yẹn sílẹ̀ náà. We focus on the only one that we know that we can take to United Nations. Gbogbo àwọn tó kù yẹn, they can also be annexed into Yoruba land at the appropriate time when it dissolves, or they can stay on their own. As Cayman Island is 67,000, their GDP is about 60-something billion dollars. Ìlú tó ju 70,000 lọ nítorí pé àwọn olórí burúkú politician yín gbogbo wọn pátápátá ló ń tọ́jú owó pamọ́ síbẹ̀. So we have the population. The next thing is defined territory. That is why I said ẹ má tún máa ní ẹ tún fẹ́ mú bì kan mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká sick sórí ìta ti mọ̀ for now. Koiki àwa ẹ̀dọ́nkọ́ àwọn oríkọ́ no leave that for now, leave that for now, because wọ́n pe kíní kan ní defined territory. Nigeria ti redefine gbogbo ibi tó ń pè Nigeria. So even those places that are Yoruba places, they've cut it out. We must stick to the one that we can confirm. Yoruba lele, Yoruba lele, Yoruba lele. Tó bá lọ sí Kwara, Yoruba ni, kò ń ṣe Arab country, ẹ̀yin olóṣì. Kwara state ò kì í ṣe Arab country. Arab ò dẹ̀ like yín. Olórí burúkú ni wọ́n. Not all of them. Kò ń ṣe olórí burúkú ni wọ́n pa Khashoggi sínú Saudi Arabia embassy. Prince Ọba Saudi ó mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Saudi Arabia killed a journalist called Khashoggi in their embassy in Turkey. So kí la wá ń sọ? Allahu Akbar. Ẹ̀yin Christian ẹ máa dákẹ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin Jíò, ẹ̀yin pásítọ̀, ẹ̀yin àdúrà, ẹ̀yin bàbá àdúrà. 700 Christian ni wọ́n pa ní May. Oríṣi ìbò ó ń bọ̀ ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì yín. Ṣé pásítọ̀ kan ló pa níjọ́ kínní? Wọ́n pa ṣé gèsì lára. Defined territory. Kí ló ń pè ní defined territory? The geographical territory of Yoruba land, the Yoruba homeland territory, which Yoruba have inhabited since time immemorial before the creation of Nigeria. Yes, some of them have been cut out from our place. No problem. We can deal with all that in good time. So it's called defined territory after permanent population. The next one is number 3, government. We, the Yoruba, are prepared to implement our own interim government as soon as possible. Kò ń ṣe tí olórí burúkú gbọ́n ṣé iná tí mo jó yẹn ṣó ń dùn ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo rí pé sísè báwo yìí ó ní wọ́n ń ṣépè fún mi. Kódà bá gbé àfọ̀ṣẹ jáde kẹ́ fi ṣépè fún mi. Mo wà lórí Yorùbá Wuyì lánàá. Bá play audio yẹn wọ́n náà ń ṣépè fún Koiki. Bomb bastard ni mo ti finá jó Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì. Iná yẹn máa jó níbi tó bá wà lójoojúmọ́. Iná tí mo fi jó yẹn ojoojúmọ́ níná yẹn máa jó. Tó bá ń jí báyìí á sọ kí ló ṣe mí báyìí? Gbogbo oògùn tó lọ ṣe gbogbo pẹ́pẹ́ fọ́kẹ́dọ̀ bá Jésù tó ń pè Jésù òṣìwọ́ ló ń pè Jésù ìwọ ló ń pè Jésù. Ìwọ ọmọ mi wọ̀ta burúkú yìí. Mo sọ fún ẹ pé màá dì pẹ̀lú ẹ. Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì màá dì pẹ̀lú ẹ wá sáré gbogbo ibi tó ti ṣògùn yẹn fún ẹ. Yé fi Jésù parọ́ fún wa. Jésù òṣìwọ́ ló fi parọ́. Àwọn tó ń pe Jésù mọ́ tó ń pe Jésù sí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá wà lábẹ́ ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń ṣe ọ́díò sí mi. Ọ́díò yín. Ọ̀bí. Ìwọ tó bá wà Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀bí. Ìwọ tó wà láàbùrọ̀. Ọ̀bí. Ẹ lọ bá babaláwo yín. Ìkan tún ó ní ìkan tún ṣe lórúkọ Jésù kò ní dá fún Koiki. Mo ti finá jó. Iná yẹn máa ràn ni. Iná yẹn máa ràn ni. Ó kù díẹ̀. So we are ready to unveil our own government, but also dialogue with the government. Dialogue. You must dialogue with Bola Tinubu, because so many things are linked with Nigeria. We have 191 local government between all the states. How do you then say you are going to go when so many things are connected? A máa ní committee oríṣiríṣi ọ̀dà kí ni asset tó wà mí báyìí àwọn olóní sáwọn Igbo ní sáwúsá ni sáwọn foreigner ni kò kàn ṣe bá máa ní àfẹ́gbà Yorùbá nation. Even UK ó sì ń ṣe declaration pẹ̀lú àwọn àti European Union. And the last one is capacity to enter into international relations. The emergency of our government at the dialogue at point out in number 3 above will signify to the international community the emergency of our sovereign state. It will enable our envisioned Yoruba state to enter into international relationship. We need about $5 trillion to rebuild everything that is called Yoruba land and transform it. Thank you so much once again. That is how far I can go, because I have so many other things to treat with and deal with. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. Sorry, I cannot mention all the names. Momiwa Iyabo Olúbùnmi, thank you so much. Abiodun Monday, Yawa Sekinat, Moki Yawa Sarah, all the Kóìkì media team, thank you so much. Talotu Ambe. The Mixlr, thank you so much. Iwa Pẹ̀lú Ẹwà, Yeyoge, Moki gbogbo ẹ̀yin Sheikh, Abolore Razak, Adeboye Moki, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ disagree pẹ̀lú mi tẹ́jọ́ mọ́ APC, Moki ẹ̀yin ọmọ PDP, Showore, I love you so much. You are my brother. I continue to receive your message on a daily basis. I know where you stand, and when it starts, I know you will inject into it as well, because you have also said revolution ló máa parí Nigeria. Whether we like it or not, shout out to all the Biafra, those that are asking for the right to self-determination, shout out to you. Those that are asking for Nigeria, keep your one Nigeria, enjoy it, make sure you demand your right from Bola Tinubu, your state governor, your politician, your local government, your senator. Juliet Tosin, Mami Comfort, Olugunja, Mokinyi, Olakunle, my beautiful mother, my wives, Mr. Michael, Ainti America, all around the world. I cannot mention all the names. I got to go now. Thank you so much for standing with us all the time. Nomiwa Abose De, Mokia on GR1, Mokia Laji Alabi, Mrs. David, Mr. Bishop Additional, Mr. Ajayi Matthew, Oluwaseun Okunsoya, Moki gbogbo àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá, Mrs. Teresa Okoya Afọláyan Saheed Balogun, kò ń ṣe èyí tó ń ṣe movie o, àwọn èèyàn support wa, Adé Siniola Olúwaṣẹ́gun, Ibrahim Shitu Ọlájídé, mo dúpẹ́ mo kí yín, mọ́mí mi Grace Senior JP, mo rí comment yín, wow ẹ ti wà ní òkè lọ́hùn, ẹ bá mú fìlà bọ, fìlà nìkan mo ní lọ́dọ̀ yín, màá gba fìlà lọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀yin, mo trust ẹ̀yin, kò sí nǹkan kan tẹ̀ máa ṣe sínú ẹ̀, bó bá jẹ́ pẹ́ lómi ni mo nígbà, ẹ bá mi ra fìlà Amẹ́ríkà tọkọ New York sí báyìí, tọkọ New York àbí state ẹ bá wà, ẹni káwọn ọmọ yín lọ rà, ẹ rántí o, màá bí yín tẹ bá ti padà dé o, mo kí Ayọ̀bámi, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yàn ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko, èmi náà ni mo sọ fún yín pé mi ni last man standing. How you doing, brother? You okay? Postman wa ló ń lọ yẹn, Mr. Fab, mo kí yín, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi comrade Yẹmi Fatoke, Ṣẹ́gun Ọ̀nà, ó kọ̀ jẹ́ pé gbogbo yín ẹ ra coffee fún mi láàárọ̀, àmọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣá àwọn backend tí mo fowó kí ló dé pẹ̀lú gbogbo tá a sọ látẹ̀kan yẹn tẹ̀ sọ pé Kóìkì orúkọ ìtúlágbára West Punani Beaches ọlágbára ni ẹ o, mo kí ẹ. I know you normally watch me, I know you're probably Yoruba or Biafra, I don't know. Mr. Adebowale Collins, and the rest of you, if I didn't mention your name, please don't get angry with me. I am your boy. I am just where I am. Oh, hey, Biafra. Hey, Chuke Meka, sit at home. Tell them they don't sit at home. Andy Uba go kill them. It's not Simon Ekpa that is bringing all these things out. Nuruddin, I got to go now. Leslie, all the way in Australia. Love you so much. I have to go now. My name is Olami Koiki, and they call me Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. I told you I am the last man standing when it comes to this movement. Aziz, Owanibi Osinibi, shout out to you, my brother. I love you so much to the fullest. Moki Bugwale Nkansi, Yoruba Nation, no going back. Yoruba Nation for life. Yoruba Nation, no going back. Biafra Nation, no going back. We will get what belongs to us. Nigeria will either negotiate with us, or at some point, at the Woro Siworo, it's just a matter of time. ká tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun ẹ̀yin ọmọ Odùduwà bọ̀sí ipò ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ìtọ́nà ìfúnni. Once again, thank you so much to my beautiful mother. Without her, I won't be here today. So by nígbà tó lóyún mi náà ti tú dànù, báwọn èèyàn ṣe ń toyún dànù lẹ́nu, you will probably not see me here. But thank you so much. Gòkè gbogbo tó ń ṣe business around the world. Àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ wà nílé, shout out to you all. Join me on the Star Radio in the next 30 minutes where we'll be back again. Mo kí ẹ̀kan sí ìwà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀wà, mo kí èyí oge. From anywhere you are, Elédùmarè will continue to protect us. Keep a very good neighbor. A neighbor killed the daughter. No, ó da petrol sínú letterbox wọn ní Nottingham. Killed the mother and 2 children while the father was outside the country. By the time a family have died. Keep a good neighbor, especially those of us that are outside European country. That's all I can say. Bye for now.